Oh yeah, that was at the Bar C. That was at where we had a beaver. He was put out. He was just about dead. I don't know why, but we had beaver dams on the Bar C. And we picked him up and took him and fed him and got on to fuel. He'd sit, when I went to school, I'm trying to remember the book, a little blue book that we had, and then it had a beaver story. And we just about followed that story. That beaver would sit, just for fun, we'd set him at he'd sit there, and he got to be quite tame, the little guy. He was a little wee guy. And he ate, we'd feed him, and he'd sit there and eat. But the ranger said, no, you're not allowed to keep wild animals. You have to put them back out. But I said, they'll kill them. The beaver, that's the nature. I saved him once, but I can't. Well, you have to take him out there. Took him out there, in a couple of days he was dead. It was unfortunate. But that's the way the law goes. I had once a moose. Somebody killed the old moose, and the calf was running around, and it was hungry. So I took it home and fed it. We had it going, and I had a cow adopted in the yard, and I was going to turn it loose out in the field then with the other cows, because then they couldn't, but put a brand on it. And the little sharp nose got hold of a string. Somebody hung a string on the fence, and it choked it. But you can make them if you take your time. The cow accepted the calf. The little moose would kneel down already. It was all, moose calf, just quick. And it would suck the cow, and the cow would moo to it. And then I was going to turn it loose with the cow, though. But it didn't turn out that way. Well, here's a book that Joan gave me, The Joys of Farming and Ranching and Other Tidbits. To Horst, love, Joan, December 1984. She made this, and I didn't know she made this. And these are all, you don't see those pictures in a newspaper anymore. These are all, this one is, here she says, the farmer says I'm beginning to like this woman's lib thing. Don't forget, it's your day to spray while I watch TV. See the woman, stuff like that comes back and forth. And oh yeah, she did the books. Oh yeah. And we did it our own way all the years. Actually, the government wanted an accrual basis, but they didn't know what they were asking for. One minister, but it was good, and I adopted it and modified it to fit our operation. And to make sure that I was doing right, I hired from the Internal Revenue, like $1,000 an hour I paid them to tell me what they really wanted. And she laughed. There was a lady, very smart lady, and she had this big, thick book, and she says, "You're the first one that I've known this, but you're the first one that I've run across that is using this the way it applies to cattle." And she accepted it, and it worked all the way. I had three major, from the tax department, people come and look at the town. I don't know what, I'm trying to think of a name right now. Anyway, they come check your books over. Audit it, that's the word. I couldn't think of audit. And he had, the last one was 3 weeks. He stayed in the office. And not once did they change a dime. Not once. I remember one time, it was right in that house, they had to come into that house. I never leave books go out of the house. I learned that lesson many, many years ago. If they want it, they're welcome, but they sit there. And Joan kept, she didn't keep these 3 weeks. We had other people then helping. But she kept, they were pretty high figures. People asked me how many secretaries I had, and I said, I don't have a secretary, I just got my wife. And they never changed a dime. And that Joan did that. And they said, the one lady that she'd come looking for 5 years, and she never got the 3rd year done. She says, I'm quitting. I'll give you the other 2 years. I'm not going to find nothing anyway. It's all correct. Because Joan would put a note by why she did this. She said, every time I think there's something, I turn her check around or look further. It's all written down why and how it applies to cattle. And she says, it's right. It's just sometimes we don't know that. And she did, and that's how Joan kept books. Until her disease started to, her memory started to go. She could, even in her cookbooks, I started to notice she'd be cooking something and everything would be ticked off. That's a bad disease, Alzheimer's. You can't cure it, but you can spend a lot of time with them. They told me 4 to 8 years in 92, or 94, 92, she got it in 92. And 4 to 8 years would be the lifespan. Well, she died last year. So we beat the odds.